To start things off, I'd like to invite our special guest speaker, Mr. Syed Qassim Naveed Qamar, who is Special Assistant to the CM Sindh at the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. Mr. Qassim Qamar has led a lot of initiatives focused on improving the lives of people with disabilities, one of which also includes legislation that allows deaf individuals to finally get their own driving license and take one step forward towards the independent lives that they all deserve. We're truly honored and humbled by his presence at our event, and we can't wait to hear what he has to say about the work that is needed to have accessibility across our society. So without any further ado, Mr. Qasim, the floor is all yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much. I want to start by thanking Connect here for this event today, Accessibility Now. Connect here is an organization of young and dynamic individuals who have been working for the better of people with hearing disabilities. I've been seeing them around at different events, and they're really doing a tremendous job with interpretation, sign language interpretation. In Sindh, since the end of 2018, we've had a very, very strong and very comprehensive law that has been the backbone and the centerpiece of our vision for a more inclusive Sindh. We work with different disabilities, but primarily I feel very proud to say that we've done a lot for the deaf community in Sindh. Starting off, I remember that initially, as soon as I took charge of this department, one of the first few people that I met from FESF, and they were telling me different stories, and before I could get into it, one of the struggles that they were mentioning was the fact that deaf people around the country have been trying for a very, very long time to get driver's licenses. And I took it upon myself, and I created as much noise as possible for it, to pass the legislation and to get everyone on board for this legislation, so that we could offer driver's licenses to deaf people across the province. And that just the fact that we everyone worked together, and I got to meet so many of these amazing people for the passing of this legislation, and also some of the struggles that they were going through, really opened up my eyes, so to speak, and made me appreciate how much effort goes into changing the mindset of people. Unfortunately, that's something else. That's one of the things that I think we can be very proud of Connect here for. Because they too have made so much noise about sign language that I think slowly and gradually people are starting to accept it. And that's what we need to do collectively, not just the government, not just organizations like Connect here and other amazing organizations that are working in the province, but also viewers and corporates, and just everybody from our society needs to come together for this. And we need to be more accepting of people with disabilities, and really understand that they are amazing individuals once you get to know them. And if you just make slight changes in your environment for them, they can really excel at many things. In Sindh, one of the other things that we're proud of, that we've been working on, is a unified sign language, which is another one of the struggles that I noticed in the beginning, as there was different organizations, but we didn't have a unified language that we could notify as an official language in the province. And we've been working on it for a good 8 months or so. And now I think we're closer to it being ready and passing it as a at least provincial language, and then inshallah in the future as a national language. Just to open up the people's mindsets for acceptability of the hearing impaired. This is something that I think not just the deaf community, but everybody needs to play a part for, because as I was talking to some people from Connect here again a little earlier, and they were telling me that slowly and gradually more and more people are starting to engage and starting to understand and accept the use of the sign language. And small example, but I was just a few signs that I've picked up. I was trying to teach my daughter just the basic signs, and she was really into it. So I think we should spread this message of inclusivity, not just in one sort of segment of society, but across the board, across society, as more as a more inclusive people of Pakistan. One of the things that we can't not talk about is COVID. And COVID's really caused a lot of problems for us within the department, for the government. Obviously, everybody's effort and focus has just been on saving lives, so to speak. But we, really coming out of this, we really need to rebuild ourselves, so to speak. And in doing that, our effort should be to rebuild more accessible, more inclusive, so that we can get people, from all segments of society who are, especially the marginalized few, who to be more involved in society, whether it's our workplaces, whether it's our communities. To be more diverse is a much healthier society. Another one of the things that we are very proud of at the DEPD, and hoping for a more prosperous future, not just for the department but also for the differently abled friends across the province, is the fact that our council has been formed. And the idea behind that is that we have some of the best people working for different disabilities in the province, and form a council with, for example, deaf leaders. A lot of them are on this council, and all the policies moving forward would come from this council. And even if there is a change of guard, as they say, the policies that are created for the future would be those that benefit the differently abled across the province. So small steps that we're taking. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to achieve as much in this past year as I would have liked. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected every aspect of our lives, and lives of people across the globe. So our aim and our dream and our vision should be to rebuild a more prosperous Pakistan after COVID, and a more accessible and inclusive one. I could definitely say that the DEPD and other organizations in the province of Sindh are working towards this inclusive province notion, taking the same notion forward, rebuilding a more inclusive province. I would like to say that let's come together and let's be more open-minded about the use of sign language as a language. Inshallah, it should soon be notified in Sindh as an official language, and we aim to take that forward to the federal government as well, to accept it and recognize it as a national language, and not just as a language officially, but let's open up our hearts and our minds to hearing impaired and people with different disabilities, to be more accepting of them in our society, in our hearts, in our workplaces, in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Qasim sir, for those inspiring words. We're really happy to see the government being actively involved for people with disabilities. And we're excited to work with them even more increasingly in the future.